What's going on, guys? Jared here, JC's Lawn Tips. Just doing a full review for you guys in the Gravely Pro Stance 36. This is a commercial unit, 36-inch deck at the Kawasaki FS600V. This is an 18.5 horsepower engine. We also got the 6-gallon fuel tank here. Easy fill up on the side. Battery's easy to get at right here. And as we step to the back here, you got underneath, you got the hydro gear, CT3100 transmissions. This is your platform, operator's platform. Easy fold up. Here's your latch right here on the side. Simply falls down. As soon as you step onto it, it's got a little bit of play in it. Give you a little bit more suspension, more comfortable ride. You'll notice here too, these little levers right here, these are going to be your neutral bars. So if you ever get stuck, you got to get pulled out or got to push the machine. You pull these out. This pushes the hydros in neutral, so you can push the machine. Also, you'll notice while we're down here too, we got the foot pedal. This is what separates Gravely from any other stand-on mower on the market. They're the only stand-on mower that has the foot pedal for raising and lowering the deck. You'll also see here on the side, we got the handle for raising and lowering the deck. This lock right here, this locks the deck. So all you're gonna do is push down on the pedal or pull the handle towards you a little bit and lay off some pressure. As you do that, you lift that up and that's gonna allow the deck to fall down. Now what's cool about this though, is when you're mowing along and you have some uneven terrain, you can simply put your foot on this pedal and raise or lower the deck as you're cutting to avoid scalping, hitting tree branches, stumps, and things like that. What's also cool about this machine is not only do you have the foot pedal, but like we said, we also have the handle, so you can use the handle as much as you want to. I find it more convenient to use the pedal, especially when cutting, because it allows you to have both hands on the control arms. You'll notice here we got the parking brake. This parking brake is on currently right now and it needs to be on to start the machine. As soon as you start the machine, you flip this forward like that and you're in motion. As soon as you want to get off the machine, the blades need to be off. You pull the parking brake off, you can hop off the machine easily. The machine won't shut off, the engine will stay running for you. You step towards the front of the machine, you notice the side discharge chute. This one's a little bit different than the other stand-on mowers on the market. This is basically exclusive to the 36. We run the 52 now, it's a little bit different setup. The 36 right here, to take this off, you'll see this little bolt you have to unscrew by hand. That loosens it, and then you pull it up, and it comes off the machine completely. It doesn't hinge like the other mowers do. Why they did that, I'm not quite sure. But if you want to take this off, you can either take it off, leave it in your trailer, leave it in your garage if you don't use it. Otherwise, you can take this bolt off right here, unscrew it all the way. Now what you're going to want to do is you can take this discharge chute, you see this hole right here on the side? It slides right in there on the side, just like that, and that'll screw on, and that's how the discharge chute will mount. Otherwise, you just take it off completely. You notice this cover easily folds up. This is going to allow you to get at your belts and pulleys. This is also where Gravely comes in and has their constant belt tensioning system, keeping the belts tensioned at all times, which is really cool. You also see the frame of the machine and how sturdy and beefy it is. As you step towards the back here, another thing I'd like to point out, your hydro reservoirs are right out here in the open. Easy access if you need to change them or add fluid. And then you notice too on the side of the machine, on top of the fenders on these tires, there's this bar, and that's actually there for a reason. It's really nice, so if you get into tight areas, you're stuck on a hill, and you can feel the machine, kind of moving a little bit, you can actually step on this and put your weight on either side of the machine. So you can go on the right side of the machine, or there's the exact same thing on the left side. So depending on what part of the hill you're on, you can shift your weight too. And that's another thing to notice on the platform, is the platform is flat, but it's also got some angles here, and those are there for a reason too. So when you're on a hill, you can put your feet on these angled parts to make it feel like you're more balanced. And I'll tell you what, that is really, really nice feature that you don't see on many commercial mowers. Now over here on the side of the machine, on both sides, you can see that the pulleys are kind of like in the machine and a little hard to get at. But what's cool about what Gravely did here is this cover. You see these two nuts right here, you just loosen them by hand. This whole cover will slide off, and that'll allow you to clean all the built up grass that'll be in here, any debris or particle that could get in the way of the pulleys and the mower's performance. So all that does is simply slide back on and just tighten these up. You notice too, while we're down here, the oil is very simple to change on these new engines. You have a drain tube right here, and the oil filter is going to be right here, and the fill is going to be right there. Everything's super out in the open for the engine, easy to get at. As we step to the back of the machine, you'll see this operator cushion, which is really nice for when you're going downhills. That's when I seem to use it the most. Otherwise, I'm kind of just right here away from the machine a little bit. But it is nice padding. It's got, you know, spots for your knees and for like your upper legs and everything, which is super nice. And what's even cooler is that this actually serves a purpose. It bolts down and you have access to your fuse panel right here, which is, here's all the fuses laid out for you. Super easy to get at. So if you ever have an electrical issue, this is going to be your first place to check. Not only that, but you can see your battery, as you can see from the front of the machine. Here's the back of the gas tank, as well as the fuel gauge, which can be seen from the front of the machine. Now this just simply folds up and it clicks back into place. And if you ever need to get down, get it back down, all you do is just pull on the cushion, it falls back down. Super easy to get at, super easy access. Here's the controls for this machine, super easy to use. Here's your height of cut. A lot of mowers on the market use the pin system. Greatly just has this wheel. You see the deck is at 3 inches right now, and if you spin it forward, it raises 3 1/4 by 1/4 inch increments, all the way down from 2 1/2 up to 5 inches. And that can be also changed to be lower than that too. So as you spin it back towards you, the deck's gonna get lower, which is very cool. And this is your deck lockout feature. So as you push pressure on the deck, you'll just pull that up and it'll allow the deck to go up or down. Here's your choke for the engine. You pull that up to use your choke, push it in to turn it off. Throttle, low speed, high speed. You can feather that in between if you'd like. For mowing, they recommend full throttle. Here's your key, simple on-off, hour meter, which includes service intervals, which is really nice. So it will remind you at the designated hours to change the oil, to change the hydro oil, to service the air filters, different service things that you might forget about if you don't keep up with your manual, which I highly recommend doing to increase the longevity of this machine. Also, you have the PTO right here. This is going to be to turn on your blades, and all you do is pull that up simply, turn it on, push it down to shut it off. Also, one thing you'll notice with this machine is we have a storage cubby, which is really nice. So if you pick up a lot of trash while you're mowing, it's very nice to put a bunch. You can fit a lot of stuff in here, which is really nice. So no need to purchase an extra trash bag or anything to carry trash with you. Or this is a good way to put other things in here that you might need while you're working. You'll notice you have metal bars right here in the front and the back. That allows you to lay your fingers on here and really control the machine with the bottom of your hands. That's the best. So as we turn out the parking brake, you can see that these levers will freely move forward or reverse. And now right here, this is the operator presence control. So just like any zero turn on the market where you sit on the machine will shut off as soon as you get off the seat. So what's cool about this is telling the machine that you're on the machine, ready to go. And as soon as you let go, it's going to shut off if the parking brake is not engaged. So one of my personal favorite parts about this machine and any Gravely on the market right now is the fold-up platform. So not only can you fold this up like this, you can stand on the machine, but you can also use it as a walk behind. So if you get into a tight area where you don't feel comfortable standing, you can simply drive just like this, walking behind the machine. So it serves two features. Not only is it a stand-on mower, but it's also a walk-behind mower. Also with the fold-up platform, that's going to save you a lot of trailer space. This little extra, like 1.5 feet or so, that's going to fold up and stay out of the way completely. That way you can have more room for equipment on your trailer. For you, all of you watching right now, do not try this at home. I do not recommend trying this at all. This is just for showing you the review purposes of this machine. As soon as you stand on this 36-inch platform, you can see it's got a little bit of a bounce. You can see that front kind of moving a little bit. If I lean back on this machine, I can lift it up in the air. If I lean back farther, the machine goes back farther. That shows me that there's a little bit of a balance ratio on this machine. You can see the gas tank, it's almost empty right now. And if I had 6 gallons of gas in the back, that thing would pop up even more. stand on this machine, it's pretty well balanced on this incline. One thing you notice too is it's got really good balance. I can lean on this side of the machine and try and pull it over. It's not going anywhere. But if you do get into a tight spot or a steeper incline and you're worried about possibly tipping the machine, you can stand right here on this fender. That's what this edge made for right here. And as you operate, you can shift your weight to allow the machine to kind of flow with the hill. And that'll allow you to do a little bit steeper hills with this machine. I want you to tell me what's one thing that you think could be improved on this machine. If you just looked at this machine, tell me what's something that if you could talk to Gravely right now and say, hey, this is something that could be improved, this is something that we'd like to see, you know, a little bit better. What would you like to see out of this machine?
Larger gas tank. If you look in here, there's a lot of empty space that they could have used. A larger fuel tank would definitely help so it could cut longer without having to refill it.
Eric pointed out, I think that if they had a bigger gas tank, I'm sure there's some design reason behind that there's not a bigger gas tank, but on my Pro Stance, you can see that Eric pointed out that empty space right there. My Pro Stance has a 9-gallon, the 52 has a 9-gallon fuel tank compared to the 36, which has a 6-gallon fuel tank. The fuel tank on the 52 is gonna go almost all the way to the top of this part, or this mower right here. Still see the stripes pretty good, and this is not a very well-maintained yard with fertilizer or anything like that. One thing that I want to point out too with this machine is that it mows at 8 miles an hour forward and 3 miles per hour in reverse. That'll allow you to mow up to 2.9 acres per hour with this machine.